We've been talking some of this stuff tonight, so this is interesting. When I saw it's not a very large article, but there's a discussion to be had. I think we've been talking about all the failures in Hollywood and everything like that, and a lot of the times we know something's doing well if merch sells. It's kind of an indicator. Are the kids buying it? Are the collectors buying it? Are the parents buying it for their kids? That kind of thing. Well, turns out Hasbro is going to lay off 20% of its workforce in the next several months.
Hmm.
Uh, I thought Hasbro was doing really well with HasLabs and all this kind of stuff and this and that. No, apparently not. I said on
Well, I mean,
Monday,
those last couple HasLabs were not really doing too great.
no.
Like their last big one, which was the Giant Man one, barely made it out alive. The Ghost Rider one before that didn't make it. Rancor didn't make it. The
Well,
lightsaber didn't make it.
the stupid uh Rebel ship Ghost one that made it, but
Yeah, but
that was
that
a
but that
special
like
instance that they
one out of two,
and
three that was there.
they announced that one in the middle of San Diego Comic Con where you had all of the stands centralized in one place, and they all literally tweeted back and forth with each other that day and got it funded almost immediately because they were all they were all there at one moment.
Yes,
That's
but
I
like
mean, Dre explained it to me when it happened. It's like, oh, it's a con thing. They were all there. That's how that
yeah,
happened.
but even still, like that's one out of three Star Wars HasLabs that made it out
Hmm.
alive. Like it's not a good track record, you know.
And
Like and even and the fact that even the Marvel Legends team, which was supposed to be the best of the bunch, barely made it with their latest one. After their freaking floppage of a Ghost Rider one, because
mm,
gee, I love to only get Goblin Queen in an exclusive like HasLab tier, even though this Goblin Queen won't have underboob for some reason. Because
God forbid, sexy characters.
yeah, it's like okay, if I could understand, it's like all right, you can't do it because you don't want it on the shelves because it'd be next to the Barbie or whatever. It's like okay, fine, I don't like it, but I can understand it. But when it's like directly from company to customer, it's like, and there's no middleman, no Walmart, no Target. It's like you have no excuse. Give me that damn underboob, okay? Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm going on eBay. I'm gonna pay $30 to some fucking Canadian who can make me a 3D print of tits,
Mhm.
and I have done that before, multiple times.
But you think about it like this though. So Hasbro, who has deals with a lot of major franchises, Transformers, GI Joe, Star Wars, they're not doing well.
Marvel,
Marvel, that means a lot of deals with Disney. They got to lay people off over the next 2 years, and their stocks are dropping. To me, this is a signal of the lack of health of all these industries, all these franchises. Nobody's buying the merch in large quantities anymore. And when they do buy, when these things are put out, we heard about it about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, when Ahsoka was doing so great because nobody watched it. We heard the report that I think it was Hasbro went to Disney when they said, "Let's get the Ahsoka toys going," and Hasbro said, "No, because our internal numbers tell us no one's going to buy this stuff. We'll make your Black Series because we can get that in a minimum order because we know the minimum bought, but we're going as low as we can when we produce this stuff."
yeah, and
Yeah.
just speaking as like on the collector side, it's like whenever like Ahsoka popped up in like Black Series stuff for like the live action things, it was just like, hey, okay, I want to get this, I want to get her just to fill out, Clone Wars shelf or whatever, or the
Hmm.
Mando shelf or whatever. It was like that was it. It's like when it got to her own show, it was like, well, it doesn't really, I don't really need that one because like, why do I care
And a
that
lot of
much? I don't care.
time, I know people are buying maybe some stuff from that era because they're buying a lot of clone troopers because they're building clone trooper armies for their setups and shit like that.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. Like, I
Or
mean, that's usually how it works for Star Wars figures, at least, because like they make bank off the molds of the troopers, of the clones and the stormtroopers, you know. And
yeah,
then
because it's that one thing. But you have to me, it's the health. It's one of those indicators of the health. Merch ain't selling. Nobody's buying this stuff.
yeah, it's not doing too great. I mean, hell, the Power Rangers line is literally going into a freaking hiatus, which
Really?
sucks. Yeah, it was like a couple of months ago. The entire line is going into
Well,
hiatus until
hasn't
the
I know that they did. I know that a Kickstarter thing for Power Rangers met its goal almost immediately. So that
yeah,
doesn't
that
make
was
sense
for
to me
the
because
I think it was for the Power Axe from Mighty Morphin.
did
Because
Hasbro? No, I don't think Hasbro does turtles. I
no,
don't think Hasbro
the
doesn't
only
do
the
turtles.
closest thing they had was the Power Ranger TMNT crossover figures. That was it. That was the only chance they ever got to do Turtles and
Yeah,
Shredder.
Turtles was Playmates, I thought.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
I'm
thinking.
pretty sure they've had an exclusive deal with Playmates for like 40
Mhm.
years.
Turtles merch flies off the shelf. Good Turtles merch. I mean,
Mhm.
not the new
Mutant
one though.
Mayhem that
I'm
rotted.
Yeah.
I'm still
They
seeing
did.
like a bunch of stuff from that movie on the Walmart shelves
Hmm.
where I'm
You
at.
know,
It's just
I played through that Shredder's Revenge game not too long ago, just to have some fun. And every time I got to the end of a level, and I got to a boss or whatever, I was just like, "Hey, I used to have that action figure."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Merch, i- merch is the sign that the fans are engaged, that the real fans are engaged, the people who keep the stuff alive. When I was a little kid, and Star Wars essentially ended in '83, and there was another 7, 8 years something happened. It persisted because through Kenner, Lucas, and then later on through stuff like Micro Machines, Lucasfilm kept putting out good Star Wars merch to feed the fans because we wanted more, but there was nothing new. And I would get everything under the sun. If there was something cool, I'd get it because it was great. One of my favorite things as a kid were you remember the die cast pewter Star Wars playsets?
Hmm.
I had those, man. I love those. I would play with those more often than I played with my full on vehicles and action figures because I could just take it, I could put it down, had I kept all the little pewter guys in a container where, and of course their paint was all chipping off completely. But I had a bunch of New Hope, I had a bunch of Empire. Didn't have any Return of the Jedi. They stopped making them. Only made one or two, and by then I had stopped asking for those as presents, so lost track of that. But it was so much easier just to set those up and play Star Wars with those than to go through a giant game of getting out all the vehicles, getting out all the figures, and I could just play through those scenes and those moments, and I love those things. They were
Yeah.
great.
I'm a big fan of Pooter too.
God damn it, devil. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, at The Ren Nerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under The Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.